electronic sports. Esports. If you haven't heard of it yet, well, you damn should, because it's 2019 and video games are only getting bigger and bigger, especially in competitive gaming like League of Legends, Battle Royale games like Fortnite, Apex, Overwatch, Pokemon even, and personally my favorite, Smash Bros. If I were to get into professional gaming, it would definitely be Smash. And like I said, it's 2019, baby. And if you want to drop out of school because you don't want to be a teacher or because your dad was, and you want to pursue a career in video gaming, well, you damn could. This is something we've all dreamed about when we were kids. You know, like when we were younger, people told us, oh, video games is a waste of time. What are you doing sitting in your room all day playing video games? But little did they know, all those years of playing video games and getting good at a specific game that still exists today with multiple sequels, like Smash Bros, for instance. I would say I'm pretty decent at it. People, especially my age, could get into competitive gaming and win tons of money if you get to the point where you're really that good. And they said it was all a joke. They said it was a waste of time. What the hell do they know? But it's funny because if you told us this back in the day when we were kids that we could one day make millions of dollars from playing video games, we would think you're crazy. Anyone would. And if people are telling you video games are dying, people aren't playing video games anymore, well, they're idiots. You need to make new friends. All right, and before I show you guys the interview with Alice, I'm going to show you guys this video CNN posted about like 3 years ago, and they basically covered the whole esports rise, and that was 3 years ago. So now it's obviously a lot bigger, but this is just to get a gist of what it all is and what it's about. They obviously explain it better than me, and yeah, here it is.
It's a scene you'd expect at any major sports event. Fans lined up for hours outside. Merchandise stands doing a roaring trade. Broadcast cameras ready for action. And fever-pitch excitement during the game. Except this is a little bit different. This is esports, the sport for the digital generation. At the Intel Extreme Masters in Poland, some of the world's best teams are going head-to-head in games like League of Legends and Counter-Strike. And it's already worth an absolute fortune.
The most simple way to put esports is there's 200 million fans worldwide who watch it. This is bigger than the NHL.
Last year's League of Legends World Championship final attracted 36 million viewers, an audience that sports like the NBA can only dream of. These are dynamic games in which lightning-quick reflexes and communication are critical for success, and the players are fated like rock stars.
Because when you play, you're just so focused on playing the games, you block everything out. But when you win and see everyone, like the whole arena full, it's unreal.
Players like Faker in League of Legends are international icons. Call of Duty players like Nadeshot have over 1 million Twitter followers. So there's a stardom and celebrity element to it.
Once maligned as a pastime for lethargic kids in the basement, esports is now highly lucrative. The Pakistan-born Saeed Somail Hassan has amassed career prize money of almost $2 million. He's just 17 years old.
As you can see in this aptly named bar called Joystick, there's still a niche market for retro video games, but things have changed so much since Kong was king.
Over the last 15 years, the advent of internet technology has enabled esports to explode into a highly sophisticated and global gaming community. The creation of Twitch, for which Amazon paid almost $1 billion in 2014, helped turn it into a spectator sport.
Twitch is a game changer, not only because of what it represents, in that it represents basically like the first global cable channel for esports.
As much as I might like Stephen Curry, I probably can never see the guy anywhere. He probably will never respond to a tweet of mine. It's very different in esports, and that all is happening on Twitch, where my favorite League of Legends player realistically might respond to my question. I mean, I might even get to play a game with this guy.
That's why sponsors are paying very close attention to the growth of esports. It might be the only way to reach an elusive young demographic. Games like StarCraft 2 aren't just meant to be played, they were specifically designed with broadcasting in mind. And that's now an industry standard. and it is impossible to cap the potential of esports in the future.
GG Pulp secures his championship title 4-2.
Esports is a global sport. It has a huge advantage around any other sport. And these teams usually are focused on regional championships and then have some international competition. Esports is in its own definition global. You can play against someone in any game at any time in the world. And therefore we think it's going to be, from that perspective, actually much more global than any sport can ever be.
It's safe to say that esports will be very, very close, if not, on par with the traditional sports we see today, like football, basketball, and whatnot. For traditional sports and traditional media, so to say, I would be a bit scared,
But maybe video games was never your thing, right? Just never had an interest in it. And you could call these guys geeks, losers, nerds, whatever you want. But in the end, they're racking in millions of views, working for an industry that's only getting bigger and bigger, and getting all this revenue, millions of dollars, and these kids are making so much money. Like guys like Ninja, he makes I'm not sure, but I know he makes millions and millions a year, and it's insane. And all these guys are getting better, and they have like tons of fans, and people love them, So like in the end, they're making more than we probably ever will. Even ESPN has had their magazines with all esports related news and updates and stuff. So you could be picking up or be subscribed to a sports magazine like ESPN, and while you're reading, flipping through the pages, bam, there it is, esports related news and updates. Even CNN in that video, they mentioned Twitch, and Twitch is pretty awesome, especially if you're trying to get into esports yourself or want to learn more about it. And the people that are currently at the top right now, getting all the views and that are kind of the best, Twitch is where you go. And it's cool because if you want to get into it yourself, you don't have to it's all about live streaming. So you play, you don't have to edit or anything. And if you want to be on Twitch yourself, you're not limited to just playing competitive games, which is actually why I joined, because I used to post videos, gaming-related videos, on my YouTube channel, which was only like a few. They were like Spyro games. But then I just kind of I was like, you know what, I'm done with that, because it took a while to edit and everything. And I was like, you know what, I'll just strictly make this a vlog channel, right? And I was like, you know what, why not go on Twitch? My friend talks about it all the time, so I made an account. It's right here, Gaming with FITZ. So, this is Vlogs with FITZ. Twitch is for Gaming with FITZ. And yeah, one of the first games I'm probably going to play is Spider-Man. I've had it since December. I got it on Christmas, and I just haven't played it yet, which is stupid. But I'm kind of glad I didn't, because now I could start it on Twitch, and maybe that'll be cool. Now, I don't have the camera yet. You could get these cameras for the PlayStation to record you while you're playing, while you're live streaming. But for now, I do have a headset, so I'll be able to at least talk, And unlike actual sports where you have to be of a certain physique and height and weight, and more or less athletic, with esports, none of that matters. You could be short or tall, old or young, male or female. It doesn't matter. If you're great at the game, you all play at the same level. You all compete amongst one another, and you're all welcomed equally the same. All right, so today is March 8th. It's also International Women's Day. And I thought this was the perfect time to make this video, because esports, pro gaming, has always been a very male-dominant sport. The reasons why we interviewed Alice, which you're about to see in a minute, is because she's one of the pro gamers at her college at Rutgers, and one of the only girls that actually play. And one of the many few girls that actually are in esports in general, but and like I said, they're rising, they're getting better. She talks about how it took a lot for her to get respect. A lot of assholes out there, like these guys, they see these girls with the mindset of trying to be as good as them, and they're just not having it. They're like, no, like you're trying to take our thing, our platform. This is our thing. Just jerks. So that's why with WG Sports, a writer and I, we went to Rutgers University a few weeks ago, and we interviewed Alice, and she talks a lot about it, more in depth than I really could myself. And one thing in particular, she mentions how even her parents just didn't get why she was doing this, and just especially since it's still sort of a male dominant thing, and they just don't understand. But she just explains how it's all changing. It's all changing for the better. So I hope you guys enjoyed this interview with Alice. She's a very cool, insightful girl. This is one of the longest interviews I've ever done before. But yeah, we had a good time doing it. So yeah, check it out.
Humble beginnings.
Okay, humble beginnings. So my full name is Alice Elizabeth Balashova. I grew up in New York, and then I moved to Jersey my senior year of high school. Originally I'm from Russia, so I am a daughter of an immigrant. So I had to learn languages and all that stuff. Here at Rutgers now, I'm like really happy. I'm a senior currently. I will be graduating not this semester, but next semester.
Okay.
I want to figure out my life and really take that time to see what I really want to do in my life instead of just jumping into the real world, into a company I'm not really comfortable with, and be okay with it. So there's that. In terms of esports, I started becoming a video gamer when I was around, let's say, 11 years old, maybe 10. Once I moved to America, right away, my brother was a avid video gamer into World of Warcraft. Every day, World of Warcraft. It was the greatest game at that time because of the graphics. It was too good for its time, and everybody was obsessed with it.
It was.
So, but now they didn't go too hard on improving it, so it kind of died down a little bit. But old timers like me, I come back to it once in a while, for the old time's sake. And from there, I started learning different types of video games. I was more into MMOs, the massive multiplayer online games. I tried many MMOs at the time because I liked the grind of finding the gear. And after that, I moved to MOBAs like League of Legends. I have not tried Dota 2. I will not do it. It's a game where if you start League of Legends, you don't want to go for Dota 2 because it's a rivalry game. But I'm down to try it once later on in my life. And now, once I got into college, I really wanted to express how much I really liked these video games, and join the competitive League of Legends team. And from there, I made a community where it felt like family, to be honest. It really felt like a family away from family, because I'm on campus, and here you don't really spend too much time with your real family. And after that, I somehow became really good friends with the president of the League of Legends Club, and ended up being so passionate about the community that I took over presidency, and I have been president for 3 years now. And my passion for the club and just esports in general have been growing since I took over presidency. I joined esports. There's an esports club. League of Legends is different from esports club. So those are two different things. I joined that esports club as a person who just wanted to give back to the community. Still to this day, the reason I'm still in it because I want to give back to the community. And at first, it was really hard to kind of fit in because everybody had different backgrounds. I was only into MMOs and MOBAs at the time. But now I went into first-person shooters. I learned how to play CSGO, which I didn't think I would be able to. Like PUBG, the new game Apex.
Anything that replaces, or if it could replace Fortnite, is a friend of mine.
Minus the 6-year-olds, although they're the future of video
technically.
gaming.
That was going to be a good segue question to what's your favorite current games? Clearly, it's not Fortnite.
It's not that I don't like the hype of Fortnite.
Yeah.
It's a good game.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. It's a good game. It's just, it's overly hyped, and now that they added new things to the game, it's really hard to get into the game as a person who's new. So for example, if I didn't play the game before, I wouldn't know what's going on, and all these extra features that were added to the game now, it's super hard for you to get good at the game because there are too many guns, there are too many skins, too many dances. Dances became a little bit
Oh,
too crazy.
good God.
So
And they stole a lot of dances. They were like sued a few times.
I think they got sued for something.
Yeah,
too.
like a few times. They got sued by Carlton from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, that's crazy.
And the backpack hit.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
they did the floss. Oh God.
Yeah,
It's just like the whole thing about it is just the community. It's just terrible, and it's just like the kids and
Very
like everything is.
toxic, I'd say.
It is.
The
It
kids,
is.
Because they're new to the gaming world and they kind of feel like things should be given to them sometimes. The video game aspect becomes more toxic in Fortnite.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of people quit, or a lot of people just said, "Nah, that's not my game." And that's the reason why I said that's not my game, because I played a couple of games with my friends, and it became very obnoxiously weird when a kid that's like 12 years old comes in and starts screaming into the mic, and you're like, please stop, my ears hurt. And like you would talk to them nicely. It's just they're like, no, I'm like a troll. I'm just gonna like kill everyone, and then they die by themselves. And you're like, please.
It's like, oh, thank God.
So how do you feel about the whole gaming community towards females? Like, there's a lot of female gamers out there, and it's a growing population. Do you feel like it's well serviced, or?
So for the female population, I struggled with it when I first joined as well. To this day, it's still kind of male heavy, obviously, and it seems like when they ask, hey, I would like start conversations, and I'd be like, hey, did you try Apex? And they're like, you play video games? I'm just like, yes. Like, is that so weird to play video games nowadays? Because our world's trying to go into VR, and it's not abnormal for you to try new things like video games. And it becomes more disrespectful for women like back like 5 years or so, when gaming wasn't too heavy, when Fortnite wasn't out, and streaming was just like Twitch became just new back in high school. Nobody really respected women as a video gamer. It became more of a joke when I would be playing. I would pretend like I'm a male, so they would take me more seriously, especially online. Like a lot of people, like my friends at least, some of them make female names to get free skins. I make male names to, like back in the day, to make sure that people take me seriously when I try to be competitive. And it works. It definitely works. To this day, I don't say it until they ask, just because it shouldn't matter. We're all video gamers. We're all a tight community that we all have the same exact interests. We all want to win. We all want to be good at this game. It's just, for some reason, our sex is just different, and because of that, our skills might be different, which is not true. It's just completely not true. I can prove it with several people that actually, when I became a competitive player at Rutgers, I had someone question my credibility of being on a competitive team, and he, who shall not be named, asked me if I could beat him in a 1v1 in League of Legends. And
oh wow!
I'm a person who,
so he was testing you, huh?
Yeah, he was testing me, and I'm a person that really doesn't like to be put under pressure, and being questioned on some things. So I got really angry. I was like, you're asking me because I'm a girl. You didn't ask me the rest of the team, because there were like four other people on the team, and he was like, no, I just want to see how you did. I'm like, okay.
Did you show him who's boss?
Oh yeah, I beat him, and I beat him first, and then he was like, oh, that doesn't count, like best out of 3. I'm like, okay, best out of 3.
What a chump.
And I ended up beating him, and after that he didn't like.
He didn't bother you again.
No, he didn't bother me again.
Good.
But it had to get to that instead of just like saying, oh hey, do you want to like play a game, and like low key test me from there. It just had to be like upfront. Hey, I think you suck. I want to test your abilities in playing this video game. And I got lucky because he sucked. But like, if it was someone who was a challenger, who was one of the top like percentage players, and he just decided to challenge me for no reason, then it would have made me look really bad. And then my reputation as a video gamer at Rutgers would have been also kind of bad.
I have a quick question. So I've heard of League of Legends, but I don't really know a whole lot about it. So I guess for people that don't know much about League of Legends, what's the objective? Like, what do you have to do?
So you're put on a 5-person team. There are 3 lanes, and in between those lanes there's a place called the jungle. So there are 5 roles. It's going to be top lane. Usually it's like a tank, bruisers, junglers who can be a lot of variety. It could be mages, it could be bruisers, it could be tanks. Mid lane, who are usually mages or assassins. Bot lane, which consists of 2 people. It's going to be an ADC, which is attack damage carry, and a support player, which is usually someone who makes sure that the ADC is going to farm well to get the minions. And the whole game is basically on destroying the towers in your lane and getting to the team's base to destroy their base, and that's how you win the game.
Okay.
And in order for that, you need a lot of communication. So if you're put on a random 5 team, like a 5-5 team, it's a little bit tough. And that's why the competitive aspect of becoming a male, of pretending like I'm a male, it came in very handy. Because when I would type something in chat, people would take me seriously. And I noticed there's a big difference when I used to type on my female name account, where they were like, oh, shut up, you're a girl, and I'm like, okay.
What about if you use a mic and you would start talking, where people would be like, oh, there's a girl here?
So Apex right now,
right.
I tried using a mic several times. So when you're in lobby and picking your legend, your champion, you would be able to be like, hey, what's up? What are you guys going? For the first couple days, I was able to use a mic. And then I had an experience where the guy came in and he was like, wow, we're representing women on games since 2012. Good job. I'm just like, wow. Me too, dude. Me too. But right now I play mostly with my friends because it's more fun, and my friends and I try to get more competitive. But I'm gonna keep on fighting the whole stereotype of women don't know how to play video games.
Good.
I think it's just not fair. There are plenty of female gamers that are in the top 10%, top 15% of their video game, and just easily they started it and they're right away in the top 10% because they feel to prove other people wrong, and that's where the competitive aspect comes in. So for esports at Rutgers, we are one of the biggest on the East Coast. We started off very small. We started off with 15. I was here at the beginning. And now we have other people who are working for big companies. They are very, our community is very close. We have students every semester that come in that are new. We always want our separate clubs come together as esports to show what each game is supposed to be like at our events. So our community is growing every day, no matter who you are, no matter even a couple of days ago, in the middle of our semester, we would have requests to join our Facebook page for League of Legends at least. I don't know about the others, but our community is constantly growing, daily by daily. Our Twitter feed, everything, it shows that we're growing. And definitely the respect again amongst our community relating to women. They see me and they see other women that are in our director e-board page, and they say, wow, they're actually doing something, and they know us personally because we're around every day, every week. We're here to teach people who don't know how to play our video game. We're always open to new things, new places, new tournaments. And at first, it was very small, but now it's growing. And definitely a lot of people, they still don't know about it because the lack of maybe advertisement from Rutgers. But Rutgers is now trying to accept us as an actual organization in terms of we're getting soon. We're getting a LAN center, like for Rutgers. It's coming, and we're getting there. We're becoming what other people have, like what other colleges have been already getting. We're just a little bit slow. We're just a little bit slow. But definitely the community is not just like closed off. We're not cliquey. We're very open-minded. We're very accepting of new people. There are people who come from high schools to our events because it's open to the public. We would always talk to the parents and say, if you're not sure like about video gaming, we're gonna tell you why this is the future, because esports is gonna be here in the next few years. It's gonna blow up, and we've been saying this for 3 years, and it's been blowing up. It's been steadily trending, and in the next couple years, it's gonna be the most important years of like video gaming in terms of becoming a profession. And yeah, I think it's already there, but in terms of like getting the college program for it, getting the high school programs for it,
Yeah, absolutely.
middle school programs for it, to be to not be looked down on from our families, because our families are of older generation.
Right.
They don't understand what it is to really be passionate about something like that is on your screen, and it's not from their generation. So now that the older generation is trying to catch up to us, they understand and they see this blow up and they're like, wow, there's money in here. We should invest. We should totally invest. It's like not like we've been telling you this for 3 years or anything like that, but because now they're finally catching up, it's gonna start becoming a legit thing for the next couple of years.
Do you think there's certain games that could have benefited from being like in terms of esport? Like I'm looking at like Mortal Kombat should be up there, or Street Fighter. Like if
Street Fighter is here.
It's up there.
Yeah, so it's just these are like main club games.
Gotcha.
Street Fighter is one of our really good clubs here. Very similar to Melee. Their community is very tight. Street Fighter. I can't say anything bad about Street Fighter. They're very chill guys. All of them. But in terms of, you said the question was...
And just in terms of like other games that probably could like fit under the esport umbrella.
Esport umbrella. So any
I'm
game.
trying to think.
I'd say any game. Like esport stands for electronic sport. So if you're thinking, if there is a competitive aspect in the video game, like even Minecraft. Okay, Minecraft. Back in when I was in high school, I played Minecraft. The Hunger Games Minecraft. That was so lit. I used to stream it. And the Minecraft Hunger Games was very competitive at the time. It was the main the attraction back when I was in high school. So Minecraft could go under this. And Minecraft we had a Minecraft server. We would go into survival and see how many days we can survive without dying. That's under there too. We have COD, Call of Duty, we have PUBG, we have Fortnite. These are just like the main games that could fit onto these. These were the original that started like our clubs.
Okay.
We branched out to several other things. Like I'm pretty sure there's on our Discord page we have Apex. We have in Dota 2. There's
and you guys live stream when you all play on Twitch and everything.
On Twitch we have the Rutgers Esports on Twitch.
Right.
Our tag is Rutgers Esports. We have a team of streamers that are either alumni from Rutgers or current students at Rutgers that stream. And whenever Rutgers Esports itself channel is not live, we have them displayed on our channel.
Oh, very cool.
So we usually stream for our events. We stream for our this semester, during the spring semester, we have 3 major events. We have the Spring Social, which passed. It was on January 27th. We have the It's Just the Game event, which is a charity stream. It's a 24-hour stream that we would hold on campus, and all of us would rotate, and we would say, I'll play League of Legends for 2 hours, and the next person will play like Apex, or the next person will play Dota, or Artifact, or whatever he wants to play. And whatever we make, what the donations we make from it, we pick a charity and we donate it to. Usually, it's like a gaming charity for kids in need. We would usually do that.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, it's definitely like respectable amongst our peers and how people and alumni, a lot of alumni, they donate because they know how it's actually going to like a cause. This year it's going to be in March, and our third and biggest event of the year is going to be Scarlet Classic 5. Our Scarlet Classic 5 is going to be right here, actually, in this building. This is the year where Rutgers actually took us seriously and decided to actually reserve it for us. So
If you're persistent enough,
last year we
that's all it takes.
got a reservation here last year, and then a week or two before the event, they canceled on us.
Really? Oh.
So it was, or like a month, or I don't remember, but it was very out of nowhere, and it was most likely because our organization didn't bring up enough numbers. And it's understandable. Rutgers wants to make sure that they know where the money is going, and luckily we lucked out for that. But the event itself was very good. So this year, I suggest if you guys want to come in and like do something like this, to come in and interview some people instead of just like the e-board myself. Interview some people who are like actually playing the video games. Like it's gonna be the competitive tournament.
I'm sure Greg would like that. Yeah,
I can
definitely.
send out like all the information to Greg and like you guys. Just
Yeah, definitely.
So, and again, I'm gonna stress this out. We're one of the biggest on esports, so we're gonna have a regional conference.
Did you say you compete with like other colleges too, or do you guys play Seton Hall? I'm not sure. I don't even know if Seton Hall like does it.
I don't think they do, but
I don't think
hey,
so.
If you give me the information, I can definitely reach out.
Yeah, I mean, when I was there, they just had like the little club, and then we would have like a Facebook page, and we would talk, and then like
But
every.
He wasn't competing with other schools.
I don't know. It wasn't really like, but we would all hang out and play. Like Smash, especially, was huge there,
Yeah,
and then
Smash
we
is
would.
still here.
But I don't know if they ever took it that far yet to like make it be like a professional. But maybe I could tell them to, or like or like suggest it, like like Rutgers would totally
my
like
contact. You can definitely
yeah.
like, contact me.
Oops.
So we have people from like NJIT who don't have big esports clubs to come here during Friday night meetings. So we have a Friday night meeting today. Usually it starts at 8 p.m. For clubs, but for esports e-board meetings, we have it at 6 p.m. So 6 to 8, we have those 2-hour meetings where we talk about our events, our plans, and everything related to that. In terms of esports here, I'm the director of content creation. So I do everything related to visual arts. I do graphic design, and I have a team behind me. I'm not the only one doing this. I'm just the one in charge of it, and I like to delegate information and stuff like that. And if anything goes crazy, it is my fault and not theirs. that is what I'm the blame.
A lot of weight on your shoulders.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So I have to make sure that our sponsors, our partners, are okay with what we're putting up because we have graphics for them when we partner with them. We have our videographers who do our hype videos to hype up the crowd in terms of the next event. We have tons of all the stream stuff, like in terms of, like the BRB screens, the buttons on the stream goes through me or our committee, and those are the committees that we meet between 6 and 8. I also do like fashion stuff now. Last semester I decided to start a project for college students because streetwear is big right now, and everybody wants a piece from Supreme, Adidas.
Yeah.
And our shirts were not selling. And I was like, I don't want to wear this shirt when I'm around campus. Like, this is something like I wouldn't wear. This is something I would wear under like a hoodie, because it's just a shirt. So I said, why not make hoodies? Like, it would be really cool, but I would need to make sure that it's affordable for college students. Because if it's not affordable for college students, nobody would buy them.
Right.
So my idea of this project was to create something that was similar to streetwear, but also related to esports. Because a lot of the esports apparel is either overpriced or not overpriced at all and not affordable for college students. It's good for its price, but it's really something that college students cannot afford. It's not like it's $60 worth of a hoodie when they can find something for $15 on Amazon. Exactly. So it's very hard to compete with these types of companies. So I said, in order for me to do that, I have to make them all by hand. So
a lot on your plate.
So last semester, I found a girl who, her name is Jenny. Her and I, we decided to do something. She's not she's an alumni. She works on College Avenue. So she said, I love doing these things. I want to get involved in esports, but I'm not a student and I cannot do so. Because if you're not a student, you cannot be part of the organization. So I said, okay, well, you can help me do this. And I can introduce you during our events. You can have your own table. So it was like a trade-off. So at events, we have an artist alley. And she does art. She does beautiful art. She does her own games and stuff. So I used her equipment, and in return, she has a table at any event for us. I think it's pretty good, you know. So this is one of the few hoodies that I made. There are different styles, different colors. It's because if I were in their shoes, in our student shoes, I would want to have a variety of things.
Oh yeah, you mentioned you were a graphic designer, right? So you could just online, you just create it yourself, or just
on Photoshop. I made
Photoshop, yeah.
I made it on
Very
Photoshop.
cool.
This was a streetwear design.
I love it.
So this
It's really nice.
And we have our little thing.
What's that say on the? Oh, is that in Japanese?
Yep, that's in Japanese. It was both. There are variety. This could be in Korean because we have a Korean heavy. Esports is Korean, China, and Japan because they're really good there. So a lot of fans want to have either Japanese or because they're anime fans too. So Japanese or Korean. I had someone who speaks Japanese to make sure that this was right, and someone who spoke Korean to make sure that that was right too. So it says Rutgers Esports on here, and on the hood it says player.
That's cool.
So yeah, and these were hoodies and crew necks because I know some people didn't like hoodies. Some people are not really into hoodies. And I made crew necks. They come in both black and white, and people would have to pre-order them in order for me to make them. I think I sold over 250.
Wow, that's great.
None of it goes to me.
Okay, well, like you said, charities and stuff.
All of it goes to the esports club.
Okay. Oh, okay, right. Just making it better and bigger. Yeah.
So, or making more of these.
Yeah.
So this was
great.
one of the designs. There were shirts that I designed with my illustrator or with one of my content because they wanted to get also into fashion and stuff. So I got them into it. I printed it still, but I had them design it because they wanted to. Shirts and long sleeves. There were a limited edition too. There are a lot of things that you could go with. You can go way out to it. So, and there's another thing, another series. This is called the Classic series, and I'm gonna be releasing the next series in Discard Classic 5.
Awesome. The last two questions I have, they're pretty easy, pretty simple. Should be a little fun. Your top 5 video games of all time.
Top 5 video games of all time.
Oh, that's a tough one. I can't even think of that real quick.
I'm not gonna name them in order yet.
No order.
Well, actually, two. If I had to say 2 of mine are up there. I like Smash, I like Pokemon. So I guess that's
Pokemon is. I'd say
it's been around since we were
It's been around for a while.
Yeah.
I'd say definitely World of Warcraft is up there because it was my favorite.
Yeah.
First game.
Yeah.
Currently, League of Legends is up there too.
Right.
World of Warcraft, League of Legends. Then we got, Apex right now is one of my favorites up there. Thinking back in the day, what did I play? I played a lot of those. Maple Story.
Okay. Yeah. What consoles did you have? You had Nintendo, PlayStation.
So I'm more a PC player.
Oh,
I'm
right.
more a PC player,
Okay.
So I don't really like Xbox games or
Neither do I.
PlayStation. But now that you reminded me of it, my favorite game was Spyro.
I have that too. Did you get the
Spyro, like,
Reignited trilogy?
Literally, the graphics were
so
like
good.
triangles. It was
Yeah.
so funny. Spyro, and they just remade it, and I was like, I really want to.
It's
play
really,
it.
really good.
Spyro is definitely one of my favorites. Spyro, World of Warcraft, League of Legends, Apex, MapleStorm.
Okay.
I'd say like those are my top 5.
Did you ever play Skyrim? Were you into
I
like?
did play Skyrim.
Yeah, that was really
I
like
have it
probably
on
one of the
Xbox,
best.
But again, it's I had it on my Xbox, not PC.
Right.
So I didn't enjoy it as much because it was on controllers.
Yeah,
I'm not really fond
yeah.
of controllers. So. Really? I definitely say if we're talking about only like PC games, I mean, only PC games, those are the
Okay. Yeah.
Spyro was not PC, but.
Let it slide.
I've been getting into VR recently too, so Beat Saber is up there right now too. Okay. I love Beat Saber. I don't know, there are plenty of games that are high quality that I haven't tried that are definitely up there. It's just these are my personal because I have really good memories. I think really good memories. Say RuneScape. RuneScape was a great game back then.
Yeah.
I didn't play it as much. But there were too many memes that came from it that I had to like play it for at least like a couple months.
We live for the memes, man.
Really, they definitely for the memes. Minecraft is also up there. It's pretty good. So yeah.
All right, great.
Since you're graduating soon, that's going to change your whole dynamics with the whole esports community at Rutgers. So where would you like to see it in a couple of years?
Definitely wanted to see Rutgers taking us more seriously. Okay. I want to see a program for our students to be able to play this game and not be kind of doing it on the side. To actually get players who can get scholarship potentials, who can make this community grow. Ultimate goal in a couple years, I hope that they have a program here, just like the athletics program, or be a little branch of athletics because esports is actually a real sport. Although people can argue, sports requires athletic ability and hey, there's a mouse and keyboard. You have athletic ability, you know. It's hand and eye coordination that a lot of athletes require you to have. It's being an athlete is for you to coordinate with your body and your mind at the same time. And if esports isn't that, I don't know what else is a sport. I'd say, right? So I do definitely want it to be a part of the sports program, or at least have its branch to have a scholarship program for it, that we can have high schoolers be able to look up to Rutgers and say, wow, I want to go to school because like this, like Ninja, for example, right? Ninja like went to the school. I want to be like him. I want to go here and I want to follow my dreams to be a video gamer. Like that would be a perfect dream of mine for Rutgers to accept us finally and do something like that. But we have a long way to go for that. We have a pretty long way to go. And a lot of work to do. We are growing a lot, and to this day we still can grow much bigger, much bigger. It's just we're restricted. We're very restricted with our school and how we can come out things with our students, things that we can provide for our students depending on funding. We're very restricted. And we want to show workers that we're not a joke. We're actually people who are very passionate about what we're doing, and we would go miles and miles and miles for it.
Right, it's all about just like respect. Even if people don't play like video games like that go to school here, they should at least respect you guys, like not like maybe like make fun of you guys because like I'll call you nerds or like some stupid like that. They should just appreciate that you guys are doing this thing and just making Rutgers like bigger in certain ways, and
once we got the right people, we found the right heads to talk to. They really started to understand where we're coming from. At first, it was hard; they couldn't understand, but different advisors, different minds come together, and they start to say, maybe this is not this is not much of a joke than we were thinking about, and this could be definitely something that could be the future.
Cool. Thank you. Anything else you want to say, just to end off, or?
I can be going on and on for esports for days, you know.
Yeah, for real.
This is like, this is a passion of mine for ages now. I'd say definitely for like the older generation, if like your kid is passionate about it, don't stop them. Don't stop them. Just let them do their thing. Like, let them try out different games. I mean, obviously control it so it's not an addiction, but don't restrict them from doing something that they love. Definitely. That's like the biggest call out to like our parents, I'd say. Even some of our millennials, like some of us, we still think that video games could be dangerous, you know, guns, violence.
Yeah.
VR is the future, and now you're gonna be stuck in the VR like that anime. Soy, like, I don't remember. But you get stuck in a video game. Like, that's basically what the fear of many of our parents are. And I've talked to several parents at our events. We had a couple girls come in to our viewing party. Like, it was like a small event one of our clubs did. And it was a mother that came in. She was like, my kids really want to come here, and like, I don't see the point in this. And you could just watch this from home. And I took her aside, and like, I went to get a coffee with her, and I was like, let me tell you a little bit about esports. Let me tell you a little about why they want to be a part of the community that they don't get back at their house. And the hardest thing for parents to understand is that we're antisocial too. You know?
Yeah.
Video games are antisocial. I got blessed with a great mother. She's against video games. Don't get me wrong. She's completely against me playing these video games. Until I invited her to one of my big events. She's still kind of like iffy about it.
Yeah.
She came to one of the bigger events that I organized with the esports people, and I said, "This is what the community looks like." And we had over like 800 people, and it was over the event was overflowing with people to the point where she's like, "I can't believe you're able to do something like this," and I'm just like, "Yes." It's just they can't see beyond the screen, and what they see is the news. What they see is this like literally just a blank screen in front of them, and if you tell them something, they won't listen. You have to show them, and I encourage all the people my age, millennials or the new generation, especially girls. I went into a male-dominant field, in both in engineering and both in video gaming. It's a male-dominant field. My mother's very against it. She doesn't understand how women could be in something like that. And it's okay to feel like that, but it's not okay to restrict someone to do something. So definitely for the older generation to finally accept that things are changing and to let your kids explore. It's really important for girls to be able to feel like they're equal to men.
And once you graduate, if you still continue to do it like that, obviously I'm sure you do.
Definitely.
Yeah,
It's my
yeah.
dream.
If you're still active like on Twitch and YouTube, you could probably start making like actual like money.
Yeah.
And then she'll be even more impressed. You know.
It's hard to convince them. It took me 10 years. It took me 10 years, but and still it's like still like there, and it's just they want the best for you, and you need to you need to be on the same page with them. You need to understand that your parents they've been through the same things that you did. You've been to when you were in college. You're trying to find yourself, trying to find your passion. You just need to talk it out with them. You know, really, like some people are like, oh, they're not gonna listen to me. They won't. At first, they won't. Don't give up. Like, it's okay if they don't listen to you.
My parents are very old school too, so they don't like really understand half the things I do sometimes.
It's okay.
But
and really just
it's different
explain
age.
to them.
Yeah.
It's different age. It's different. It's a different time. They grew up at a different time. They grew up in a different time where technology wasn't a thing. Our world now is filled with information, and they don't know how to absorb it. It's not their time to absorb it because they've had their time to absorb it, and now, because we're absorbing all this information, we get really tired explaining to them how to use an iPhone, how to use an iPad, how do you turn on the TV, how do you switch a channel. My grandma still doesn't know how to do it. I still like help out like once in a while when I can, but you should have patience. They had patience with you when you were crying when you were 2. You can have patience with them when they're 20, when you're 20, 21. It's all about time, and to this day, you should, even if you've tried for so, like I'm telling you, like even if you tried, try again. Do it over and over again until it's beaten into them, like they beat the math into you, like in school. Okay.
That's funny. 'Cause my dad was a math teacher too.
that's what you need to do. You need to educate them too, like they educated you. And in the world where technology is our power and not theirs, we need to use it. And for video gaming to be our future, we need to make sure that they are part of it. And if they're not a part of it, you're never gonna feel like you deserve it. You're never gonna feel like, when I come home, my mother is gonna yell at me and I can't really play video games anymore. I've had that fear for years now, but I finally accepted it. I finally said, I'm over it. I need to start doing what I really want to do, and even if it's not gonna go the way I want it to go, I'm gonna get where I want to be. And I mean, that's where I want to be in a half
Hell
a year.
yeah.
Definitely for the parents, listen to your kids. Technologies, not everything that you read on the internet is true.
Totally agree.
But not everything that your kid says is untrue. So make sure you listen to your kids carefully. Definitely for the parents out there who have kids who play video games, definitely take the time to sit with them and really figure out what they're into. Maybe my mother at the time didn't know what World of Warcraft was. When I showed it to her, she said, "Wow, you can be in a different world? That's crazy." I'm like, yes, that's why everybody's playing it. You could be anyone you want to be in the virtual reality world. And I bought a VR set and made sure that she tried it. And she said, "This is crazy. This is insane. I want one for myself." And
Yeah, wait till like technology gets even better. They'll probably be able to actually like kind of digitalize yourself into a game, and so you can actually really walk around, not just with the goggles and stuff. That's gonna be nuts.
That's the dream.
It's gonna be crazy, yeah.
But again, danger is something that everybody's gonna talk about.
If South Park made like a joke about it.
Yeah,
remember that?
I
Oh, it's so funny.
South Park was funny. But for the kids that are out there trying to chase their dreams in like games, don't stop. I tell you, especially you're women. Especially if you're a woman, it's possible. I'm out here. I'm grinding. So find a balance between your family and the video game. It doesn't necessarily have to be all about video games. Make sure you have family to back you up on it. If you don't have someone like a family behind you, make sure you have really solid friends. That's all I can say for future generation.
Makes a lot of sense.
Thank you.